There are some very bad people in charge of our state. You know who these people are. They're in charge of big organizations and big companies that you use in your day-to-day life. These people appear to be untouchable and are also known as elites. However, they are not elite to you, and they are not elite to me. They're actually the enemy of the people, forging a system with their foreign and domestic partners to enrich themselves and overthrow our constitutional way of life. With their attempted coup of the President of the United States in 2020, they have enriched themselves greatly with their planned pandemic and COVID-19 operation in order to secure a victory in the 2020 election. These people have thrown your rights, your Constitution, and all that you stand for out the window. Well, have no fear, Washington. We see these people, and we hear you. And there's a group and a force with a grassroots underground movement that the world has never seen. And together with you, the people of Washington State, we're not only going to take back our state, but we'll take back our country with a force the likes the world has never known. So buckle your seatbelt, Washington, and hang on, because we're about to start a show that they never thought would be possible. Boom. They should have never let me anywhere near the video recorders. Good morning. It's probably morning for you guys. I'm obviously a day ahead because I'm making the YouTube videos, so they take a while to upload. So sometimes I upload them at night and they may end up getting done in the middle of the night. So if it looks like I post this video at like 2 a.m. or 3 a.m., that's probably not the case. I'm probably asleep. But it uploads its own through this setup. Anyway, I hope you liked my dramatic video intro. I'm working on trying new formats and things like that. I think that's a very good way to reach the people. Once the ballots hit, actually it'll be the voters pamphlet. It should have links to me to where people can see my videos, and my website as well will have links to it. We need to get the word out once voting time comes, just so people know who the Trump Republican is and who the MAGA candidate is. Obviously, when they get their ballot, my name glows Trump Republican, real big Trump Republican. So if they hate Trump, then I actually got a lot of people that voted for me that didn't like Trump. I'm probably the only candidate ever that got like 2 pages of shill yelling at me, right? Like green-haired crazy ladies. And then at the very end, the last 2 sentences, so I'm going to vote for you anyway. I'm serious. I've got all this stuff, right? I have to get a lecture, like a 2-page lecture, and then they're like, but I'm still going to vote for you. Even though they hate Trump. And typically it's 2 pages about how much they hate Trump. And I'm like, well, that's fair. If I have to listen to a Moran, at least they're going to vote for me. I think there's a lot of people that way. I like Trump, and I think Trump's right on. And I've been on top of everything, so I've watched everything they've done to him. And the biggest thing for me was the people that I knew were bad people and literally suppressing me my entire life went after Trump, right? So I'm watching, and I'm like, well, you know, Trump thinks like I think too. It's a business thing. Just the way he does deals and stuff like that. I read The Art of the Deal a long time ago, and I liked Trump back then. So I'm familiar with him, and I'm familiar with this format. So when you were presented with the other clowns and jokers back in 2016, and then you had Donald Trump as a choice, I think it was pretty much a no-brainer for the entire country, right? So when he won, it was extra fun. Everybody watched the 2016 elections. I've watched it like 100 times. Okay, never thought I'd get into politics, but after I saw him going after him and how he was dealing with it, and then you start to realize the true depths of they're all. If you want, you see how bad it is. But more importantly, they literally started coming after me, and they did it very clandestinely. See, look, see that? They don't. Oh yeah, quiet. I'll throw you down there. So they did it clandestinely and did it to where, it was hard for me to monitor, report, or prove. But we got them because, well, they're dumb. So we knew. I mean, right? So if you know, you just shoot the missile right at them and get ahead of it. And that's what we did. So we knew. So we are pretty well organized, just to let you know. And we're all pretty politically smart. So we're not just a bunch of fly-by-night jokers and clowns. We may not spend a lot of our time and resources on reaching the public or reaching the normies or trying to prove ourselves to anybody, but that's because we are seriously working on success and, what to do with success. Failure is easy, success is hard. So when you go for success and you assume it, you assume the sale, right? You assume the success. Once you assume the success, you have to know what to do with the success. So we can't just be like, we won, and go start having drinks on the governor's mansion, which I don't drink, so we don't have to worry about that. I gave up alcohol in 2017, to be honest with you. I cut back on alcohol, and then I completely gave it up in 2021, I believe. It was at one of my friends' wedding. I just drank some wine there, and that was the last time I ever drank. My body rejects alcohol now. I actually tried to have a glass of wine about 6 months ago, and I got one drink in, and all of a sudden the back of my ears and my right here just started burning so bad I could barely hear, and my body was rejecting it. So I'm done with the alcohol. It's when stuff like that happens to you, that's pretty well a sign from God that you're probably done with it. I don't need it. I feel like we were under attack, so I don't ever want to be intoxicated, and I don't want to be off of my game, because once you realize how deep their attacks are and how sinister they are, you don't want to let your guard down even for a second. So I'm big about never being impaired and trying to stay focused on success and winning. So I don't do that. Anyway, yeah, we have to focus on success and make sure that we have a plan after we win, which I do. And I can explain them to you in depth or detail to the point where you'll all be falling asleep on YouTube while Governor Lawson has his whiteboard over here, right? Yeah, we haven't even gotten into Governor Lawson's whiteboard yet. That's a whole nother, that might have to be a whole nother episode. All right, if you want to get the channel kicked off of YouTube, get into Governor Lawson's whiteboard, because you will learn some stuff from that. I will write it down and go over everything in detail. Once I'm elected, I'm going to have to, and the people that care can tune in, and I'm going to go over everything. Basically, my advisors are going to be you guys, and I'm hoping to use a format like this channel, or maybe Zoom, or something more professional that YouTube can't get themselves involved in. And I'd like to have public discussion with the people so that I can hear the pros and the cons and angles I'm not seeing. Get professionals involved. Put the people in charge of it, a little bit more. And then we can kind of get ready what we want presented to the elected officials. And then I can veto it if they talk crap, which they will at first maybe. But I think we can get the right people in there. I think after, all we got to do is, if I get in 2024, right, everyone's going to see how well I do. Plus all the Congress and senators are going to want to jump off bridges because they're not going to want to deal with me unless their intent is correct. If their intent's correct, I'll let you know. And if it's not, I'll let you know. And then we can get the right people in across the whole state, and we'll get our bidding done. We have a pretty good compliance specialist anyway, so I have a feeling that it's going to go our way anyway. And once we're in there, we do everything correctly and by the book. We would never do anything not by the book. That would be bad. Only whack fools do that. Only whack fools force senators and congressmen to do things they don't want to do. That's deep state tactics. We don't need to drop to their level. They're pretty bad people, honestly. They do bad stuff, and I say that a lot, but it's like your grandma on the couch has no idea. If she knew that that was literally Al Capone's gang that she's voting for, she would look at everything differently, you know? And a lot of us have to just sit on the couch and be like, all right, Mom, we'll see you later. Not that my mom's crazy. That's not nice. I wouldn't say that. A lot of people voted for Hillary Clinton. Look back now at a lot of the videos and stuff. Look back at Denny Heck on the floor of Congress screaming and yelling about Russia, Russia, Russia interfering with the election. Yeah, he did. He's running our state right now. And then look at some of the pictures I posted in the intro, and you'll see where he was going to step down and get out of there. Oh, until Jay Inslee got in there, and they had problems. See, so once they had problems, Denny Heck had to come back. You know why? Because Denny Heck's the one that's really running the state. Jay Inslee is a puppet. Okay? Denny Heck is a swamp rat, man. He is a swamp rat. Go back and watch the Russia, Russia, Russia. Russia, Russia, Russia. He'll be the one I'm running against no matter what. If he doesn't throw his hat in the ring officially and they try to use Ferguson as the puppet, which Bob Ferguson can't get elected dog catcher. That guy is a toad. He has no personality. He's corrupt as hell, and he's bought by Soros. And once the Soros information comes out, that dude's done. But why? We're just going to wait till it's closer to the election and be like, oh, look at that, because Soros ain't getting no more popular. Trust me. And he is a Soros dude. Washington State is just all the way around it. It's been protected here a long time, let's just say, to not get too far into the weeds, because everyone's already going to be mad and running for the doors after I get elected. Trump's already got them all cornered in, and they're all exposed. So it is what it is at this point. I'm just going to make sure they can't get pardoned or get away. So they're going to be mad. They don't want me elected. They'll do a lot to try and stop it. But I'm not afraid because I have God. Right? And only God can judge me, and only God can hurt me. So if I have God, they can't touch me. And that's something they don't have, or else they wouldn't be doing what they do, which is pretty obvious. So, yeah, we're going to win no matter what, because God wins. Don't forget to vote for Trump. If I hadn't said that in my last few videos, we got like a week left, and I'd really like to see a Trump landslide in this presidential primary. They're not talking about it. I have people, God bless them, because I couldn't do it, that monitor the local news, and they're not mentioning it. They don't want no one to talk about it or even go in and vote. So they're not even going to talk about this presidential primary. They're just going to let it go by and be like, oh, look, it's the blue Biden state. Look at all the mail-in votes we got. Mail-in votes have to stop. Kim Wyman is the architect of that. She went to the Biden administration, so she's actually working for the Biden administration for that. She is doing his entire voting research and mail-in voting across the whole country. That's her by design. Washington State used to be the clerk in Olympia. Now she works for Biden. She got elected our Secretary of State and stepped down. Then they had the rigged 2022 election where they implanted their people into there to regain and keep control. She was a pretend Republican, and she was like, oh, it's a bipartisan. She's Republican and hates Trump. She's bipartisan. You guys know she was not bipartisan. She's a Democrat, and that's why Biden drug her over to D.C. What I hope is they arrested her, and they've got her pretend in D.C. while they roll and dissect this voter fraud they're doing with these mail-in ballots, because it's out of control. The mail-in ballots, they just blank ones, you know, that's it. It's the key. That's the key, is the issuance of blank ballots and the chain. Because if you have those blank ballots, the way they've got their laws written up is that's all you need. You just dump a couple thousand extra of them in each county into your little drop box at whatever hour, and the election's yours. Yeah, that's it. I mean, I wish it was more complicated. We were looking into it, and the official ballot part hung Arizona up. They didn't have enough of those, so they just went ahead and printed some. Because we were like, if they're going to make it legal to print them, I mean, come on, we can just print ballots. We can play at that, right? We'll just print a bunch up and dump them in the dump boxes, and then we'll see who can print the most paper. That's what it would come down to, right? Who can print the most fake paper? Well, we figured if we did it, it would expose the whole scene because they'd cry like girls at the top of their lungs, and then it'd be like, well, you bust us for it, and it just shows the years and years and years of you guys doing it. So it's pretty simple there, right? That's how you do it. That's how you beat them. You beat them at their own game. That's how we think. That's how we get things done. But we didn't have to do that because they're not going to make that. They're not going to let that stand. Like, I don't even know. So everyone's saying Biden won't be running. Biden won't be running. I think maybe he will. Maybe he won't. Doesn't matter. They might have to punt, right? So my theory is they're going to try and punt. And what I mean by punt is they're going to go ahead and kind of let everyone win because they're figuring that's the path of less resistance. But they're going to try and change a bunch of laws to shoestring us and hamstring us and things like that. I invite them to do that. That is probably their best bet. It won't work just from me to you to the people. I don't want to go into details why it won't work because then they might not try it and their other methods are a lot more dangerous. And there is no way they can win the other ways, but they're so pissed off they might try it, which makes it a little hard for us to recover from. It does give more transparency to people and shines a light, but at what cost? I think most of you, if provided with all the information, would go the same route we are and let them try and steal it again or do whatever they're going to do, and we will go from there this time. And like I said in my last video, to be perfectly honest with you, I understand that they stole 2020, and I understand that they stole 2022, and it seems dark and it doesn't seem fair, but the amount of crap we had to go through and the amount of stuff that was exposed from all those things is worth it, all right? And the fact that we're going to be able to get rid of these people and the federal government and state government retention laws will be corrected. I'm not going to have to flounder around for a couple years looking like an asshole, like I can't do nothing because I'm dealing with the courts and these unanswered questions while these bureaucrats run around and do as much damage as they can. Granted, I got huevos, so I would probably just have them arrested anyway. Sorry, I kind of like that. If I felt they were doing true damage like they've been getting away with, that wouldn't last very long with me. They would definitely be answering publicly before they were allowed to just go free. The news, they're going to be mad. They're going to do everything they can to not talk about me. Eventually, that will be they will be forced to. Hopefully, they don't come up with something too fake and dumb. I've thought about all the things I've ever done that they could throw all over the news. And even if they got like the worst, most horrible sounding ones that would be even paint me in a false light, I'm ready for them. I don't care. They can try it if they like, but it'll fail. It won't work. I've never done anything too terrible, and I can look anyone in the eye and say, yeah, I did that, or no, I didn't, and not worry about it. So I can tell you guys the truth too, and you guys can have the difference to decide. But I'm telling you, I don't think I've ever done anything that would bar me from running the state. In fact, everything I've ever done will just show you that my resolve will be serious, and that they will not get away with what they've been getting away with, and I am an absolute hammer. They will also show that I cannot be bought. Okay, you just can't buy me. That's not fun to me, and I don't like it, right? I'm already upset about the world currency being made out of fiscal dollars, which the banks don't want to hear. Big Pharma don't like me either, see? So listen to my enemies list. I don't like Big Pharma. I don't like the Department of Education or the schools. And I don't like the banks. That's like me against the world, right? Nope. I got the people of Washington because I don't think you guys like any of that crap either. Oh yeah, throw the Department of Licensing and almost 90% of the state organizations in there too. I don't like any of them. Do you see now why I say I'm going to show you a whole new world when I pull this down? Now, add the dudes at the beginning of this video that I just ran across the screen for you guys while I said my little cheesy speech there, right? Add them to the mix, and what happens when their power is removed? Get me all worked up now. Let's not do that. Alright, register to vote. Go out, register to vote. It's President's Day today. It should be President's Day. Happy President's Day. Let's hope for some big boom booms. Vote for Donald Trump. Don't forget to register. Washington. Here, I'm going to get it one more time. It's vote.wa.gov. Okay? You get on there, you register to vote. and they'll register you. And then on election day, if you don't get your little ballot, go into the election office. One-day voting, do it in person. We've been crying about in-person voting, so obviously we'd like it if you did in-person voting. Do that for us, and just go ahead and vote for Trump in person. On the back page of one of these, and I'm going to see if I can get it up against the camera so you guys can see it. This has all the areas where the elections are at and where you can vote, if you don't know. All these places right here, which I'm in a county that I just started living in for the first time. Very familiar with the county I'm in, but this is the first time I lived here, so I get to go figure out where to vote. But I think I know already because I'm a social butterfly. So that being said, we'll see you guys later. Tomorrow, back to work, everybody. President's Day's over. We got floundering Congresses and floundering senators and supposedly an open border and people running around everywhere. But the good news is you got law and light coming your way. We've got an election coming. We've got 2 months till we start up into the primaries. And I just feel this monster landslide coming and all the rats running. Have a good day. Thank you for watching the videos today. Please like and subscribe if you'd like more content.
I'll let you try my